Once upon a time, in the ancient and wise book, a new story begins, a tale full of lessons and wonders for those who listen. In the quiet heart of old France, a humble miller neared the end of his days and prepared to divide his simple legacy among his 3 sons. The miller gave the mill to his eldest, the donkey to his second, and to the youngest only a single ginger cat. Though the boy felt forgotten by fortune, fate had a different plan for him. The young man sat alone, wondering what future awaited him with nothing but a cat. Yet the cat watched him with intelligent eyes, as though carrying a secret far greater than anyone imagined. Then, with a graceful bow, the cat spoke. He asked only for a pair of boots, a sturdy bag, and trust. Astonished yet hopeful, the youth agreed, and thus their unlikely partnership began. Soon the boots were made, shining with polish and stitched with care. The cat stepped into them proudly, transformed into a creature of both elegance and ambition. With boots on his paws and a clever plan in his mind, Puss in Boots set off across fields and forests, determined to change his master's life forever. In the emerald depths of the forest, he laid clever traps. With patience and skill, he captured plump rabbits, his first step toward a daring scheme. These he delivered to the king as gifts from the mysterious Marquis of Carabas, a name he invented for his master. The king accepted them warmly, intrigued by this generous nobleman he had never met. The princess, too, was enchanted by the polite cat with shining boots. Each gift brought them closer to discovering the so-called Marquis. Next, Puss hunted graceful partridges in a misty woodland clearing, moving like a shadow, silent, swift, and brilliant. Again, the king received these gifts, further convinced that the Marquis must be a gentleman of great wealth and taste. The cat's most daring plan began by the river. He asked his master to bathe, then hid his clothes. The young man did as told, unaware of the bold trick unfolding. At the perfect moment, the king's carriage appeared. Puss cried out that the Marquis was drowning and robbed by thieves. Shocked, the king commanded his guards to rescue him. The young man was pulled from the river and dressed in fine royal garments, stunning both himself and everyone who looked upon him. As the carriage rolled onward, Puss raced ahead, instructing farmers to claim their lands belonged to the Marquis of Carabas, or risk the ogre's wrath. Terrified of the ogre, the farmers obeyed. When the king passed, he marveled at the richness of the Marquis's supposed lands. In vineyards heavy with grapes, workers repeated the same words, adding to the illusion of vast wealth. Even shepherds tending flocks on green pastures declared the land belonged to the Marquis, further impressing the king. At last, Puss reached the castle of the fearsome ogre master of the lands and a creature of terrible magic. The ogre greeted him with booming laughter. His hall was filled with treasures, flames, and shadows, an intimidating home for any visitor. The ogre showed his power by transforming into a massive lion, shaking the castle with his roar. But Puss stayed calm, leaping away with ease, challenging the ogre to prove he could become something small as well. Proud and foolish, the ogre shrank into a tiny mouse, forgetting how vulnerable such a form could be. In one swift motion, Puss captured the mouse ogre, ending his reign of fear forever. Silence overcame the castle. No longer a place of menace, it shone with hope and new possibility. When the king arrived, Puss greeted him at the gates and humbly announced the castle belonged to the Marquis. The king toured the grand halls, astonished by their splendor, his admiration for the Marquis growing even more. The princess walked beside the young man with a gentle smile, already fond of his kindness and honesty. A great feast soon filled the castle with joy. Laughter echoed between stone pillars as music danced through the air. Puss sat upon a golden cushion, savoring fine dishes and watching his master's happiness with pride. That night, fireworks burst above the castle towers, painting the sky in brilliant colors of celebration. The princess and the marquis walked along a balcony bathed in moonlight, speaking softly about dreams and futures. Meanwhile, Puss explored his new home, stepping confidently on polished marble floors, no longer just a simple cat. At dawn, he stood atop a high tower, cape fluttering, gazing proudly over a kingdom now filled with peace. Villagers cheered the marquis, grateful for the kindness he showed after inheriting these lands so unexpectedly. In the courtyard, Puss trained young kittens, teaching them wit, courage, and the power of clever thinking. Royal artists painted portraits of the new couple, capturing their joy and the glow of new beginnings. Under a blooming apple tree, Puss rested, knowing his cleverness had shaped a brighter fate for all. As the sun set, the kingdom shimmered with golden light, wrapped in harmony and prosperity. And so this tale comes to an end, but its wisdom and lessons remain, shining as a light to guide us in life.